Hello and welcome to Voxel Viewpoint. I've got Leigh with me here. How you doing, Leigh?
Not too bad, not too bad.
And I'm Ryan. And Leigh, you've been playing the 13 remake.
Mm.
That's oldish game, or first-person shooter, and they've
Mm.
remade it for current, I guess last gen consoles now. Is there current gen?
Mm.
Is there like new gen versions of it as well? Like,
No,
no, okay.
it's just crosses over.
Yeah, just backwards compatible. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and so this is like a interesting kind of cult classic from that GameCube era. Is that when it was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
PS2,
PS2,
GameCube,
GameCube. Okay,
PC at some point, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and it's got like a pretty neat art style, and like I said, it's kind of a cult classic. So there's maybe not the stopping power of Halo, but enough people interested in it that we're going to talk a little bit about it. So you enjoyed that game back then, and you were looking
Mm.
forward to this game coming out. What is it about the game that is interesting to you, and how bad did this turn out to be?
Well, it was always an interesting game. As a shooter, it wasn't the most complex shooter. It wasn't the most complex stealth game either. It's a mixture of the two, combat stealth.
Hmm.
The distinction is when you say cell shaded, you can look at Borderlands and say cell shaded, but it has a 3D style thing to it. The key to 13's comic book style was it was almost like moving 2D. It was like literally moving drawings and stuff
Okay.
like that. Had a really cool style to it. Good
Okay.
aesthetics to make you look like if you had an explosion, you would see the panel of like a comic book shake on screen and stuff
Hmm.
like that.
Is it
And
kind of
box
like
outs and
Void Bastards?
uh, not strictly like that, no.
Okay.
But it's a similar sort of thing. It's almost like cardboard cutouts
Okay.
on that. But yeah, it's definitely a flat style, but aesthetically, it's meant to be a flat style.
Hmm.
It's meant to look like a panel. So that's the hook to it. It had a really unique, nice jazzy score. It just felt like you were in a comic book, very much so.
Hmm.
And so this has come out as a thing, and I didn't ask for it, but if you're going to give it to me, I'd take it. Because the old one still sort of stands up.
Hmm.
So, and this one comes along. Microids uh, published it. I don't know who. I think it's a first-time team did this, and this is where I have to make an addendum to your opening thing, where I've been playing 13. I've been trying to play 13, and it's not been working out very well for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you did a little
um,
stream and I watched it, and you had some uh, complaints.
Everything is wrong with this. It's worth saying at the start of this, it's been badly enough received that they've had to put out a statement that says we're really sorry about the way we've released it.
Yeah,
We'll be looking to patch this stuff out.
yeah.
And I could tell you now from the first 5 minutes I've played this, the only way they can fix everything that is wrong with this is if they completely start it again. And that's not me making a joke.
Hmm.
It feels like everything about this is wrong. It feels absolutely incompetent on pretty much every level.
Yeah,
I
so I
don't
mean,
know
it's
what's happened.
it's even down to
I
like
honestly don't know what's
the
happened.
the game just doesn't feel good to play.
No, it's one of the most like ineffectual shooters I've played.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever played a game that's had so little impact, like combat impact, like contact between. I started playing with this and I had a gun, and it feels like a kind of water pistol. There's nothing to it. There's no feedback. There's no audio visual feedback. When you shoot people, they float to the floor almost.
Yeah.
And just kind of slump. They just have a lay down. That's fine. You go to sleep. That's all right. Um, there's no punch to any of it. It just feels like they don't understand on a fundamental level how to kind of give your gun kick, and I don't know how you can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it doesn't work volume wise. It doesn't work feedback wise. It just nothing works.
yeah, there's definitely. So I kind of felt that way with the second Wolfenstein game. Felt like those guns, as big and bombastic as they were, the game never really gave you feedback that they were like powerful. You know, whether it's like controller vibration or something. You know, like recoil, something like that.
Well,
I always felt that was just as an example of another game that does, in my opinion, didn't do a very good job. I'm just trying to think about what it was like for you to play this game. And
I would agree with you about Wolfenstein. The second, the new Colossus.
yeah,
That was the one. Yeah,
yeah,
I could agree with you about that. How it did lack kick. That's nothing compared to this. I can't describe how it feels like you're not shooting.
hmm
There's oh,
it feels like
and
the
even
bullets are
when
going back into the gun.
it just feels like air. It honestly feels like air, and people fall over. It feels like hairdryer.
Yeah,
Um, and I know I make fun of bad games. I'm not joking about this. It's like I may as well have not been shooting.
hmm
And you can't, to the point where you can't even tell that you're hitting people because there's no real audio visual feedback. And you only know you've actually hit them is when they fall over. Horrible shooting.
hmm
Horrible. Not a good thing when you're starting out
yeah,
with the shooter. Whatever happened, I don't know what's happened with the AI. The AI is absolutely atrocious. It's some of the worst AI I've played in kind of. This is a high profile game, I would say, to some extent. Not massively high profile, but it's definitely visible. So I don't understand. There's almost no AI in this. We play some, you say, on the stream?
yeah.
Where I could just walk up to kind of to the side of the guy that's supposed to be guarding the door, and I'm standing by the side of him with a gun towards his head,
hmm
and I'm able to have a conversation with the guy, like outside of the game. There's
yeah.
nothing. There's no flinch, no nothing.
So, and this is uh not how it was previously.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't the most. It wasn't Black, for instance. It wasn't exactly the most kinetic shooter.
hmm
Just had style to carry the shooting that was serviceable. I guess
hmm
that's the best way to say it. The atmosphere carried it.
Yeah.
Um, but
And none of
what?
that is here. I know they dramatically changed the art style.
Yes.
It's not the flat like hand drawn look to it like the comic book style. It's polygonal and not it doesn't have that cell shaded look to it at all.
No. Despite they tried to update the obviously made it more of a 3D look, even with the cell shade outlines. But
hmm
trying to update it for today makes it look incredibly old. It
hmm
now looks like a PS2 game
hmm
that didn't have an art style, if that makes sense. It didn't have an aesthetic to it. So it just now looks slightly kind of old and archaic.
Yeah.
Not a good move. That also wasn't a good move. The glitches are unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've fallen through the floor so many times. Um, there's very bizarre. There's consistent graphical glitches on the on the character models where it just looks like they explode into shards, and kind of your head is kind of catapulted off on a piece of pixel to about 10 foot above your body and stuff like that. And they're just walking around like that, like it's nobody's business. It's shocking the way this is. For them to say sorry, we didn't know.
hmm
We need to apologise now. I think is a bit of a. If it's in the state that this is in, they shouldn't have released it at all. This is not acceptable the way they release this in any way, shape, or form. Um, I'm kind of angry about it, really, because Well, because it was, there were a lot of trailers there for a while. Excuse me. There was a lot of trailers there for a while, and then it went incredibly quiet, and then they stealth released it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it's coming out in a month.
Surprise.
And I feel like they snuck it under the radar. And I'm not happy with this at all. It's massively broken.
Mm-hmm.
It feels incompetent.
I couldn't really tell on the stream, but you were also complaining about screen tearing and stuff like that, like technical problems.
It's consistently screen tearing. I just need to turn left or right slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Not even get into a bit of kind of complex graphics, complex situations combat wise. And when I say screen tearing, I mean massive slabs of the screen are being left a few frames behind. So you're getting strips as opposed to just kind of a shift,
a little line or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like kind of a bar of screen tear,
Yeah.
and it's just it made me feel ill.
Yeah, no, when it gets like real bad like that, it's nauseating. It could be like motion sickness.
Yeah, there wasn't a time when it didn't do it.
Huh.
Horrible.
So did you play it at all across platform? Because you get an Xbox Series X now and it is backwards compatible. Is there any difference in performance or anything like that?
Absolutely none, except now it's even less acceptable.
Oh, it's worse on the Series X?
Well, no, you'd imagine it kind of perked up some of the frame drops or something like that. But no, it just chugs along as inefficiently and incompetently as it did on the lesser system.
Okay.
So at least it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how the people that did this got the job. It sounds like I'm being horrible to these, but it's like it is not good.
Yeah.
No,
as somebody who's
nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
No, as somebody that's nostalgic for it, I'm annoyed. But imagine somebody picking us and not having any attachment. And I think they feel exactly the same way as I did.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it would. I don't know. It's hard to tell if it would be worse for them or not, because at least that it's an old game that they're trying to remake, as opposed to somebody picking it up and thinking like, did somebody think this was like on the level of Call of Duty today or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. I know, like you said, they have been out saying that they're aware and that they're going to be working on something to fix it. I mean, technical issues are something that can be addressed, hopefully, like that screen tearing. Hopefully they can like make the combat a little bit more responsive and make you feel like you're actually shooting a gun. Some of the other things though, like the art style, I don't really think that they can really change that at this point.
No.
Because that's a lot of work to completely change an art style. AI, maybe they can improve, but probably not as well.
But it just feels, the thing is, it feels also embedded within the code of the game.
Yeah.
Within the build of the game. I don't think it's something they can fix without restarting the whole thing.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think so. It's like...
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they'll do that.
No. No.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they should have just taken that base game and tried to remaster it or something, up-resed it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't. All you had to do was kind of widescreen it, and it would have stood up. It would have stood up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, would have done. Yeah, massive misfire this one, and I can't even be angry enough to destroy it.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. It's different.
Yeah, you can't even put it in the garbage next to your other garbage. It's not even doesn't even feel right.
No.
All right. Well, that's a bummer. I hope they do make some tweaks to it and improve it down the road, but I doesn't seem like there's any way to make it completely right, unfortunately. So buyer beware on that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to find out. I would have traded it in by then.
Yeah. So buyer beware on that one. That's on PS4, Xbox, and PC. Is there a Switch?
Yeah. No.
No.
Switch,
Okay.
Switch dodged the bullet on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Boy.
All right, so that's going to do it for the XIII Remake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to see more. Check out voxelvoice.com for all of our great content, and consider supporting us on Patreon to keep our content ad-free and independent.